So thank you for the introductory part. So this is lesson 4 on introduction to human resources, introduction to human resources management.
Good day, my students. My name is Kabiru Shola Genti. I'm one of the facilitators for the program titled Introduction to Human Resources Management. So in this course, we'll be talking about the literary meaning of what human resources management implies. We're talking about the historical mandate of the concept. Then we're talking about the function of human resources management. I hope you are going to fly together with me in this course so that we're able to have a lovely landing. So thank you and God bless.
So you are welcome to lesson 4 on introduction to human resources management. So in this lesson, I'll be talking about some of the factors that propel the development of human resources management in the context of Nigeria. So these are the learning objective. What I want my work class students to familiar themselves with after the whole lecture. I want them to understand some of the factors that leads to the growth and development of human resources practices in Nigeria, and some of the challenges that the practices is facing currently in the country. So factors that influence the development of human resources practices in Nigeria. There are so many factors, but I want to look at it from just this few paradigm. First and foremost, I want to talk about the area of trade unionism. So the upsurge of trade unionism from 1940 to date is one of the major factors that propel the development of human resources in the context of Nigeria. Because before the advent of trade union ordinance of 1938, unionism were not allowed globally, and Nigeria being a colony under United Kingdom, so people were not allowed to come together. But until 1938, when the ordinance was passed in UK, so it became operational in 1930 in Nigeria, or 1940 and above. So people have started understanding the need for workers' welfare to be taken care of in the world of work. So as a result, labor issue, grievances, disputes, and so many other things were being mechanized in a way that whenever they come up, it can easily be resolved. So similarly, government influence also play a very prominent role in the development of human resources in the context of Nigeria. So what did I mean by this? I'm talking about some of the labor ordinance, labor decree, labor acts, convention, either at the level of ILO, human relations, a treaty, and what have you, that Nigerian government have endorsed, that they are signatory to. So it's also brought about the procurement of human resources management practices in the context of Nigeria. For instance, the Factory Act of 1955, the Labor Code of 1948, the Wage Board Act of 1957, the ILO Convention of 1948 on collective bargaining, right to join union, and what have you. So all of these things, perhaps because Nigeria is a signatory to some of these convention and the international treaty, so it makes government to look at what is happening in labor legislation, and as a result, human resources management was able to be given some kind of a space in the context of Nigeria. So similarly, we also look at the role that the Nigerian Employer Consultative Association also play, which is highly tremendous in the area of a growth of personnel management functions in the country. So though NECA was established in 1950, but since then they've been promoting good personnel management function vis-a-vis some of the schemes that they go in collaboration with the government on. So like Industrial Relation Committee, that NECA are part of it, area of training and education committee, and others area like that. So apart from the area of trade unionism, area of the role that NECA play, government legislation, industrialization is also one of the factors that bring about procurement of human resources practice in the country. So the springing up of industry in different location, in different states, in different division, also make people now to have interest in what is happening in the management of workers in their respective organizations. So now, just talking about the synopsis of some of the factors that bring about the procurement of a human resource practice in Nigeria. So one of my students want to ask a question in this regard. So can you please ask? Tell me what is your name? Good Lord. Your name, please.
My name is Adejoke Alaronrodiat. Prof. Sir, what is the meaning of industrialization?
Okay, thank you very much, Adejoke Alaron, for that wonderful question. So when we say industrialization, we are talking about concentration of industry in a particular area. That is when we have two more of industries situated in a particular location. That is what industrialization means. So, but this particular concept of industrialization also prepared the practice of human resources management, in the sense that in different individuals industry, we have a workforce that work for them. So as a result, how they manage this particular workforce in an organization now become a key to so many people in Nigeria, that these people that are working in different organizations, how were they able to manage them in the area of recruiting them, in the area of training them, in the area of motivating them, paying them, and what have you. So this particular concept of industrialization prepare the practice of a human resources management. So which today people are now key into in the context of Nigeria. So thank you very much, Adejoke Alaron, for that question. So perhaps other students who want to ask questions too, or you are okay with the lecture. Okay, so I consider the lecture is okay for other students. So thank you very much, and God bless you. Have a pleasant day. So now, having discussed the factors that prompt the development of a trade unionism in the context of Nigeria, I just want to cap it up so that my students will be able to understand the synopsis behind the factors that lead to industrialization, human resources management in Nigeria. So the growth, just like I mentioned, of trade unionism in Nigeria is attributable to a number of factors. So which include, as I mentioned earlier, the enactments of Trade Union Ordinance of 1938 that gave a legal recognition to the formation of trade unionism. That is, five or more people can now come together now to form trade unionism. So unlike before, that people were not allowed to unionize, so which later affect their welfareism in the world of work. So the Trade Union Ordinance of 1938 is one of the factors that led to the human resources management in the context of Nigeria. Two is the area of a government influence, just like I mentioned, in the area of labor legislation. So, like the Trade Union Act of 2005, labor conventions, like labor decree by the military. So, all these legislations also influence the practice of human resources and management in Nigeria. So, again, is the role played by Nigerian Employer Consultative Association. So, the trade unions represent the workers. So, NECA, MAN, Nasi, Nasima, so are the one that is representing association of employers here. So the role that these employers also play in the context of Nigeria also leads to why people now love to study human resources management as a discipline and as an area of a practice. So last but not the least is the area for industrialization that Adejoke Alaron has question about. So the concentration of industry in a particular location also make people to look at human resources management as a discipline and as an area of expertise. So thank you very much.